So one of the most common questions that we get here at Gateway Stewardship is, how do I budget for a small business? And so today we're going to go through a quick illustration on what it looks like to start a small business, what it looks like to track the profits from that business, and how to set aside funds to pay for your taxes so you're not caught off guard by the tax man. And then finally, we're going to answer the age-old question, should I be tithing from business revenue, from personal increase, from gross, from net? Let's get started. Now, the first thing that you must do when starting a small business is just set up a small business account at your bank. This is very important. You need a personal account and a business account. If possible, we highly recommend that you do this at the same bank where your personal account is set up so you can quickly move funds back and forth, hassle-free and without any fees. So now that you've got your business account set up, let's get into how to budget for the business. Now in this example, we're going to be starting with a portrait photography business. So let's say that you go into business and to get it off the ground, you personally had saved $1,000 in your account. This $1,000 is in your personal account, but we're going to transfer it to the business account. This is called an owner contribution, and now that it's in your business account, it's considered owner equity. So now that your business is funded, you can decide how you're going to spend that money to start bringing in income for the business. So let's say that you take that $1,000 and you buy a basic camera and a portrait lens. The account is now back down to zero because you purchased equipment to use to make income in the business. Now that purchase, the cool thing about having a small business is that purchase will be tax deductible since it was done through the business, but we'll get to tax deductions and other tax efficiencies later on. Now, let's say that over the course of the next 5 weeks, you're able to book 5 different photo shoots and you can charge $500 for each one. That ends up bringing $2,500 into your new business. Now, this is business income and it's called sales. Once you take those sales and you actually get the money in your account from that sale, it's called revenue. So you now have $2,500 in revenue. And from that $2,500, you're probably gonna have some expenses. For a photography business, this could be anything from startup fees, post-processing software, education to improve your craft, or even new gear that you didn't realize you needed. Something like a flash or a tripod or other unforeseen expenses. Unforeseen expenses are very common for startups, so you need to have a plan for these if at all possible. So after spending $500 on expenses that popped up unexpectedly, you're left with $2,000 in your business account. From that, you can go ahead and pay back the personal account the initial owner contribution that you made in the first place. This is not a taxable event. You don't need to pay taxes on this $1,000 because it came from your personal account in the first place. But remember, you had $2,000 in the business, $1,000 came back as your personal contribution. The remaining $1,000 is essentially your true profit from all your photo shoots. Or to put it another way, it's your personal increase. So Deuteronomy 14:22 says you shall truly tithe on all the increase of your grain, the field that produces year over year. Proverbs 3:9 and 10 says honor the Lord with your possessions and the first fruits of all your increase. So that $1,000 that came into your account, that is your personal increase. So from that $1,000, we're going to tithe 10%, which would be $100, and then comes taxes. So running a small business can feel like a very tax-heavy burden endeavor, but if you plan in advance, the bill should never really surprise you. When we look at taxes, the two main things that you need to set aside are self-employment taxes and federal taxes. And it's best to get these numbers straight from an attorney or from your CPA, but I'm going to give you some basic numbers. It'll probably be around 15.3% for you on your self-employment taxes. That's Social Security and Medicare, 15.3% right there. Then you've got your federal income taxes. Now let's assume that you're in a $50,000 tax bracket. Well, this year that would be a 22% marginal tax rate. So on that $1,000 that you brought home, you have $153 for Social Security and Medicare and $220 for federal income taxes. So after tithing, self-employment, and federal taxes, you're left with $527. Now since our increase, the personal increase was $1,000, it would be a good idea to set aside at least 10 to 20% of that for future business investment and put that into a business savings account. That way, it grows over time and you can use this for emergencies, large purchases, or anything that might come up in the future unexpectedly. Now, your remaining $327 might not seem like a lot, especially when you brought in revenue of $2,500. But there's a couple things to remember. First, don't forget that the initial $1,000 back into your personal account was just your owner equity going back in. That won't happen again the second time that you earn $2,500. You're not gonna have to pay yourself back again, which means that more profit and a larger margin will go into your account. As long as you don't go into debt through the use of credit cards, small business loans, or any other form of debt, more profits are going to go straight to your personal bottom line, which is awesome. In closing, please realize this is purely an example. These numbers can all change significantly based on whether you're a sole proprietor, a corporation, an LLC, an S-corp, or even a nonprofit. We didn't even touch on state income tax and sales tax, both of which might apply to you. So, we're not tax professionals, and you should consult a certified professional accountant about any tax details or questions that you have for your business, but our goal was to serve you with some basic information. I hope it was helpful at giving you that understanding so that you can grow your business and start from scratch.